Welcome to our City Hustlers show, a show where you're able to learn something from people who are hustling through the city of Kampala. Not only that, but people are going to inspire you. You are going to be inspired by this particular conversation between me and one of the hustlers I've known within this city. His name is Ebo Kavugo, who has been hustling for the last 20 years in the city of Kampala, yet he's always awesome and actually happy about what he is doing. Now, I have known Ebo Kavugo for over 20 years, I believe, over 20 years, and I have seen him work through this city, Kampala, and making all ends meet. That's why I call it the City Hustlers Show. My name is Peter Migade, and I'm delighted actually to host this show so that you're able to learn something, because we want you actually to be a hardworking person, but not only that, a person who is able to pass the test of time. Now, just to get into it right now, here we are going to start today. So, Mr. Kavugo, who are you?
Definitely, you said something true. Known each other for a long time, and yeah, been a hustler. My name is Ebo Kavugo, just like you mentioned earlier. Sally is my other name, and I'm a technical person. That's what I would call myself. I have been in this field for about 20 years, if I remember right, and it's both in the architectural drawing side and also in the gadget side, which is the tech side, and other things that I add on to there because man has to survive.
Thank you so much for that response. I know, yes, I ask you questions which I already have answers about, and that's just amazing. So, if in case someone's just wondering to know that, what do you do and where can you be found?
Um, in Kampala, my workshop is situated Kampala Road. That's opposite Bank of Uganda. Uh, Greenland Towers, level 3, shop number 4. That is our base where we operate from as a workshop. And what we do, mainly the two things that I mentioned earlier. I deal in gadgets, all sorts of gadgets. I have a team of people that I work with actually. So every electronic gadget that needs fixing, stop keeping them in your stores there, bring them. We will deal with them. Before you think of buying another one, that's why we were trained in this field. Some time back, people did not know that this field really helps, but I know that it does. Well, we have some few people that make it look like it's a quack job, but it's a very good job. I have come to realize that over time. So I deal in phone repairs, replacing all kinds of screens, all kinds of internal hardware parts. That's depending on what has been broken on the phone. And also protecting the phone, nice pouches, screen guards. Then we also deal in selling new and used phones. But most of all in that area, we give advice, technical advice. Because many people do not know what really happens in this world. They would buy big, good, high-end gadgets, but they don't know even how to operate them or what to do when they are faulty. We are here to give advice. We are here to help you out. And I have found it very interesting. Actually, when I even look at statistics, almost 70% of the whole world, they use gadgets. And we are in business till I don't know, end of time.
Awesome. I like that. I like that response actually. So, I know you have been in the city for some good time. Can you just share with us what is your story? How were you able to make it to be where you are right now, working within the city of Kampala, surviving through it? Tell us about your story. Did you just reach there? Is it like, are you an angel? I know you are not. But how have you been able to reach where you are now?
Wow, okay. I like the question. This has actually something to do with you. I remember when we were still young and we were still in secondary as friends, you used to tell me a lot that doing technical work is better than going for white collar jobs of offices. And so I didn't really understand it fully that time, but I bought in the idea of going for blue collar jobs, which is technical work. And I definitely must say today that it has paid off very well. So where I am today is I have my own workshop. Let me just give you a little bit of a background. First of all, I studied architecture, and after doing that course, I realized it was good, but in the market, it wasn't really paying off like I expected. Mark you, it's also a technical job, and I loved it, and I love it with a passion even up to today. But I realized it's not really giving me what I need, and I needed to get moving to see something in my pocket on a daily basis. Our city here moves with you earn on a daily for you to make ends meet, you know. So I started thinking of what to do, something else that I can do to supplement on what I would be earning. That's over 20 years ago or so, and I got an opportunity to join a company. By then it was called Cellular Service Uganda, and I remember you were friends with the manager by then, and when you called me, you asked me, is it okay if I give you a chance to divert a little bit from the direction where you are and enter into training in electronics? I gave it a thought, and you said you would call me back in an hour for feedback. And I remember I was designing a plan that time. I was on board. But from the time you called me, I stopped, and I was just thinking through. And to me, I think that was my breakthrough. Because if I could use the word, the Spirit of the Lord just said, this is the one opportunity that you've been looking for, something to add on to what you're doing. So if you can do it and later on do your designings in the evening, it would work very well. And definitely, that's how I got the idea. I came. Of course, when you called me back, I said, yes, I would come. And you tell me, prepare for tomorrow. Very early in the morning, I was the first at the point of training. And when I was interviewed, and they looked at my papers, they liked my papers, and I started training. Lo and behold, 2 years down the road, I was a qualified person. I started working, and I've never looked back. But after 3 years of my contract, still as friends, we kept on talking, and you told me, because there were some issues, work was very heavy, and the pay seemed to be unfair that time. So I thought if I venture into my own business, doing the same thing, it would actually pay off very well. Not because I really was interested so much into money, but I would also get time to do other things as well, like I said. So that's in around 2005, I decided to, when my contract ended, I decided not to renew it. And I started my own company called JC Cellular Solutions, which stands up to date. And I have trained so far about 4 to 5 young men over the years, and they are doing well, even without sitting anywhere in an office, but just repairing people's gadgets. They are earning a living and they are working. And way forward, where I want to see myself in the next, let's say, 5 or 10 years, I want to be an online technical person, selling gadgets and also giving technical advice and working with people in sync, because we are more into tech nowadays than sitting in one place. So I can work with people by networking, not really sitting in one place.
Awesome. I like that. Now, I know that you are not only the one who is hustling through the city, but we have so many other hustlers within the city. But what advice would you give your fellow hustlers, people who are in the city, they are working through to make ends meet? What advice could you share with them?
One of the things probably I didn't mention at first, I am a born again Christian at that, and I respect my values. I respect people. So being truthful is one of my core values, and to respect every client as they come. That would mean that even the work that they give me, I would be honorable in doing their work. And that's one of the biggest issues in our industry. That's the first advice I would give the young people. Do not rush at making money, because in our field it's very easy to, what do they call it, to take somebody for a ride. They bring a phone, it's probably faulty by just something small, and somebody decides to tell them, well, this one is gone. But actually, it's not gone. They would want to just stay with it and probably fix that small thing and earn big out of it. It might take time for you to build, although you will not lose as much as you would lose if you were sitting outside anywhere, because this kind of work is a daily income thing. But you still have to be patient, because you will not sustain doing things that are not right. So for me, it is integrity first, because that's what has enabled me to come this far. I get work by referral most of the time. It is people that I've worked for that refer and refer and refer. That's why even where I am now, I'm at level 3, but I still have work. Even in COVID time, people still call me. Why? Because you make a name, you stand by that name, and you build trust among people. In this field, it's about trust. If people can't trust you, then they can't bring you jobs, then they can't recommend you. And if you can't stand by your word and give what you say, then definitely the business will not work out. I've been able to work through all these years, close to now 20 or so, because of trust. Even when I was still working for a company that time, still I was one of the recommended people because of my trust in the reputable companies where I used to work. And it's not that I did not really want the money, but my core values would say, no, don't do that, do this. And definitely the Lord opens a door. Now I'm looking at things like if you're making sales and you're selling things that are not good, when the people take those things, they will definitely know that what you've given is not good. So that will not give you another opportunity to work on them. But if you sell them something good and you've told them what it does, and it actually does that and it works for a long time, they will recommend many other people. So you will be able to sustain your work for years and years, So that's my first advice to young people. Secondly, it is important for us not to look at just office jobs, because unfortunately our education has trained us to look at going to university, then look for a job, get into offices, and we think that that's the ultimate thing. But when you get to reality, you actually realize that things are different. And at times, by the time you get to that, it's too late. So my second advice is, let's do a little bit of research. Countries like China, Singapore, Malaysia, how have their populations been able to grow their economies so fast? It's basically the blue-collar jobs. Guys are going into things like welding, things like carpentry, and adding value to it, doing good designs, and things like now this technical repair works, and these are the things that are earning them a living. And believe me, on a daily basis, you cannot miss out. It's not like how they would stop you and say, no, we have to cut the workforce now, the office needs had probably 50, we now can deal with 15 for this time. And you would understand them. I'll give an example. During COVID time, guys would call us, please come, please, I need this gadget working. And they are pleading. And yet people out there seated, nobody is even giving them a call to come and do work. So we have to think outside the box. We don't have to think like the way things were a couple of years back when we were being told, study, go to university, continue, get a job, go through the ranks of getting to the director. No, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm simply saying have something that you can do for the rest of your life. So my second advice still lies in, if you have done that white collar job, think about something technical that you can do. Guys, we can use our brain to do so many things. We literally use about 4-5%, and yet that is the bright guys that are doing that. So there's a lot we can still do. Then the third thing is, and for me it's the most important thing, be honest at whatever you are doing. Do not rush into earning. Money will come your way. It will actually come if people trust you. Build trust with people. For me, it is the most important thing, actually. Because without that, I wouldn't even be here.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. I like that. Thank you so, so much. Now, you have mentioned something which is so critical on the area of trust. If we don't build trust with the people we work with, the people we serve, the people actually who help us be where we are, then we cannot make anything to come through. And that's something for me I really like from what you have just shared today, that we should be able to trust one another, but also build that trust as a person doing the businesses, as you are working, build the trust. Now, I also like the part that you have been able actually to mentor other people, which is something we always want to see happening within our city, where other people are able to mentor one another actually. When you mentor someone, you work with them and you make them also succeed in life. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Kabugo, for the time you have been able to give to us. Now, for our fellow hustlers within the city of Kampala, I just want you to know something, that the Bible actually tells us this. It's a proverb within the Bible. It says that all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads to poverty. So all hard work, whatever you are able to find your hands to do, go and do it, because all hard work is going to bring you a profit. You are able to succeed in life because you are hard working. But if you are just talking about the things on the streets and you never work, I'm telling you, poverty is going to come your way. Once again, thank you so much for being part of today's show, and I hope you have been able to enjoy something or learn something from the life stories, and I hope and I plan to bring you more life stories from individuals who have been able to make it in life. And our number is on the screen. You can be able actually to connect with us so that we are able to come and have a chat with you. We can actually do it when you are on your side and I am on this side, and we are able to help our people within the city to succeed in the things that they do. May God bless you. See you again. Connect with you once again. Like our videos, and may I be able to connect with you one more time. Maybe once I'll be able to connect with you wherever you are, wherever you are hustling from. We are able to come and have a connection with you. God bless you.